Hey everybody, this is Rabio's blog, and welcome to my TV show episode review series. Today's episode that I will be reviewing is on the 4th episode of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D, I Spy. Before I get into what I liked and hated about this episode, I would like to give out a brief summary on this episode. In this episode, Agent Coulson and his crew discover a young woman named Akela who happens to be involved in many high-stakes heists. It's also revealed that Akela used to work for S.H.I.E.L.D. before she went rogue, and Agent Coulson and his crew try to track her down. But once they approach her, will they end up arresting her, or will they discover a darker secret about her that could involve a much more sinister plan at work? Now, after watching the first 3 episodes of this series, I was wondering about whether or not we will ever get a major story arc that could affect all of the characters. Well, even though this episode was more of a standalone episode that supposedly doesn't tie into a major story arc, there were some aspects of this episode that I really enjoyed. For one thing, I really enjoyed the relationships that was being shown between both Agent Coulson and Akela and Agent Coulson and Melinda May. I really loved the fact that Agent Coulson was trying to do everything in his power to save Akela despite the crimes that she has committed. It truly shows how trusting Agent Coulson is, and I love the fact that this episode reflected how Coulson remembered being hard on Akela in the past and how he tried to make amends for his treatment towards her. I also found the fact that Akela was being controlled by an unknown organization by having a robotic eye inserted into her to be truly interesting, and it sort of set up a real threat for S.H.I.E.L.D. to eventually handle in future episodes. I really enjoy seeing the tension between Melinda May and Agent Coulson, especially in dealing with what to do with Akela. Melinda May wanted to arrest Akela for her crimes, while Agent Coulson wanted to protect her. And it was great seeing them clash with each other about this situation, since it has me wondering about whether or not Melinda May will leave the team because of her disagreements with Coulson. I also like the fact that there was a bit more mature humor in this episode than in the previous episodes, such as some sexual jokes that popped up here and there, as it made the show a bit easier to sit through. Now, some problems I had with this episode was that I felt that the S.H.I.E.L.D. agents were sort of pushed to the background in this episode, even though I enjoy Akela's story arc. I actually wanted to see more interactions between the other S.H.I.E.L.D. agents and Akela, even though we do see Akela briefly interact with Melinda May and Fitzsimmons. I also wanted Akela to join the S.H.I.E.L.D. team, since I thought that her character was very interesting, and it would have made this episode really stand out for being the episode where she was introduced into the team. Overall, I give the episode I Spy a question mark, meaning that this episode was pretty decent, though not quite a thumbs up. I think the biggest problem I had with this episode was with the pacing, as this episode did seem to move at a much slower pace than the previous 3 episodes. Even though I love the character moments between Akela, Melinda May, and Coulson, and this episode probably had the strongest character moments so far, I actually wish that there were more intense moments happening in this episode that would really put me on the edge of my seat. I guess I was the only one of the few people who liked the previous episodes a little better, if not for the pacing. Well, that's my TV show episode review on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I Spy. And be sure to check out more of my videos in the future. This is Rabio's blog, and I'll see you later.